When you refer to a system as dipole, what does that mean? It means that there is a charge separation on that molecule. So there is a positive charge and a negative charge on that molecule. Now that positive and negative could be full-fledged or it could be partial positive and partial negative. Partial positive and partial negative are usually found in polar covalent molecules. Full-fledged positive and negative are usually found in ionic molecules. So now if you take a ionic compound, say sodium chloride, sodium ion and chloride ion and sodium ion and chloride ion. So let's say this is the crystal. Okay, so when you take this crystal and put it in water molecule, right, or put it in water, it will ionize into these ions. So positive and negative ions will separate out and water molecule surround them. Water molecules surround them. Okay, these are known as hydrated ions. Okay, hydrated ions. This is a ion dipole interaction. Why do we call this an ion dipole interaction? Because an ion is interacted to a dipole. What's the dipole in this case? In this case, the dipole is water. Okay, water is a dipole because water is a polar molecule. Okay, the hydrogen has a positive partial and oxygen has a partial negative. Okay, so this interaction is known as ion dipole interaction. It could be another type of interaction where two polar molecules, say for example alcohol. Okay, for now you just know that R is a functional, R is a alkyl group. You don't need to know what R is. Important is alcohol has an OH group. Okay, so if an alcohol interacts with water, okay, this is a dipole right here and this is a dipole right here. So this is a polar molecule. Okay, and this is also a polar molecule. That means there is a dipole here and there is a dipole here. So if these two interact, okay, and alcohol does dissolve in water, this is known as a dipole-dipole interaction. Dipole-dipole interaction. In a molecule where hydrogen is bonded to a highly electronegative element, highly electronegative element, and this could be oxygen, chlorine, fluorine, nitrogen, in this order. Fluorine is the highest electronegative element, followed by oxygen, followed by chlorine, then nitrogen, and then the electronegativity fades away. So in the periodic table, fluorine is having highest electronegativity followed by oxygen. So in a molecule where hydrogen is bonded to a highly electronegative element, there is another force, interactive force, and it's called as the hydrogen bonding. It's known as the hydrogen bonding. And I'll take example of ammonia. So ammonia is like this. Okay, and in a sample there are hundreds of molecules of ammonia. So there's another ammonia very close to it. Okay, and there's probably another ammonia very close to it. Right? Now, there is a high electronegativity difference between nitrogen and hydrogen. So what happens, because of this high electronegativity difference, hydrogens get positive and nitrogen gets negative partial charge. Okay, so this will have a negative, this will have a positive, 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 and this will have a negative, positive, positive, positive. So what happens is that this negative charge is attracted to this positive charge. This negative charge is attracted to this positive charge, right? This interaction is known as hydrogen bonding. They say hydrogen bonding or hydrogen bond, but it's not exactly a bond, but it is an electrostatic force of interaction between molecules. To summarize, we talked about forces between molecules. One of them is dipole-dipole interaction. The other one is ion-dipole interaction. The third one is hydrogen bonding. Okay, out of all the forces of interaction, now there is one more force of interaction known as London dispersion forces. London dispersion forces, and these forces exist in all types of molecule. All molecules have this, no conditions attached. All molecules have London dispersion forces. Out of all these forces of attraction, hydrogen bonding is the strongest. Now, where do you see hydrogen bonds in real life, or where do you notice the presence of hydrogen bonds? One example is the DNA double helix, and if you notice, in between the bases, hydrogen bond is formed, and that's why DNA exists as a double helix. If not for these hydrogen bonds, if not for these bonds, DNA would not be a double helix. Okay, that is one thing. Now, some species are liquids at room temperature. For example, are water. Okay, water and hydrogen sulfide, they both have similar structures. Okay, same structures in fact, but water is a liquid at room temperature and H2S is a gas at room temperature because of hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding in water is stronger, whereas hydrogen bonding in H2S is weaker. That's why structure is like this. Right, this is H2S and water molecules are like this. So this is the hydrogen bond and this is the hydrogen bond. This hydrogen bond is stronger and this hydrogen bond is weaker. So it's very easy to break through this. It's not that easy to break through this. So because this can be broken very easily at lower temperatures, at room temperature, this is a gas. H2S is a gas.